Welcome to another episode of Racing to Learn. We're a nonprofit that gets kids excited about math and science. We are working on our ECX Ruckus Brushless two-wheel drive. Actually, it may not have been a brushless originally, but it was when we ran it and bought it and ran it. We bought this off of eBay already with a brushless system in it, a whole bunch of upgrades on it as well. We've done a lot more upgrades since. You can check out the entire video playlist in the video description. And so last time we ran this, it went, a new driver was piloting this and basically ran it full throttle. 9-year-old driver there, first-time driver, I would add, ran it full speed into a concrete set of stairs. So probably going about 45 miles an hour, full speed into some stairs. It just shattered the chassis. I've got the back half over here. Just totally shattered this plastic. You could see this. Nope, that's another shattered. Where's the shattered chassis? Oh, here it is. All right, root cause analysis. You could see just the impact that was done here, the post game, right? And there's a missing chunk here. And these are pretty durable. I mean, this is the most durable truck in our fleet. This is our workhorse, and we've never had a chassis break on one of these. We had a. I'm gonna just place this over here. We had a Torment donated to us that has a broken chassis, that had a broken chassis. I don't know what kind of impact caused this, but it must have been pretty similar to the impact that we had, either a big drop or something, big jump, bad landing, cracked the chassis. The previous owner of this tried to JB weld it. You can see that JB weld adhesive, but these plastics just aren't the same after they've been broken. Which probably he fixed it, it broke again. He or she fixed it, broke again, and I ended up getting rid of this. So that's why we've got this example here. You can see just the difference between a stock front suspension, right, and ours. This one uses the non-captured shoulder screws. So these non-captured shoulder screws don't have a lot of thread that go into these bearing carriers. So we've had a couple of these. We've lost a couple of them, out while running the trucks, and it pretty much ends your run because the front steering and spindle doesn't work anymore after that. So after many bad experiences with those shoulder screws, we went to our fully captured version. This nut goes all the way through. You can look at our playlist for all the steps and how we did that. So definitely has bulletproofed the front suspension. Oh, just noticed this here. The hinge pin was retainer was sheared off. This is like a fiberglass, and that was just completely broken off on one side. So we have quite a couple damaged parts on this truck. So what are we gonna do here? What are we gonna do? This, unfortunately, we can grab this hinge pin. This one is still good. We don't have the little fiberglass reinforcement piece left on this setup. We're gonna basically try to figure out how to meld a couple of these together to come up with one complete front end. This is definitely the most complete. Maybe we'll just go with this entire chassis setup. Basically, we're just trying to figure out what would take the least amount of work to switch over all these components. Also, while we're doing this, we'll fill up our parts bin here, our Ruckus Torment parts bin. We should really throw a label on this, but this is just a box of all the odds and ends that we have from these trucks. So we'll kind of remove the broken extra pieces here, and it's like carving a turkey or something, right? Just salvaging what we can and throwing away what can't be used. Like this front piece here. So, how is this even attached? Are these screws? Okay, yeah, these screws are still in here. So we've got a fair amount of work in front of us. Let's see what we can do here. Probably the best approach is just to remove whatever's broken, like this, and just toss it. You'll notice that some of these screws are rusted. I can't even get to that. Oh, let's remove the bottom plate first. We're going to have to remove this anyways. You'll notice that some of these screws are rusted, and that is when we brought this to our seaside bashing spot, which is very salty. So that's a reason to switch over to stainless here. It's kind of our all-purpose basher truck. The workhorse, again, I always use that word when describing this truck because essentially we were considering this as the platform for our program with kids, just given its durability and after the essential upgrades there, or perhaps not so essential, but especially when running big power through these. I shouldn't even say big, it's all relative, but running the amount of power that we do through this truck, if you stuck with brushed power, you wouldn't have had to do a lot of the upgrades that we've done. But we really wanted to push the limits of this platform and see how far we could take it. So this piece is broken down here. It's funny that the suspension pin seems to be intact. We're going to push that through. Where's our paper clip here? Actually, we can use a smaller wrench for this. Here we go. This will work. Okay. This pin is good. Let's check on the other side that endured the impact. There's a chance this might be bent. Yeah, there's a slight bend in that. Very slight. You can always check this, by rotating it. Look at that. So that was part of the carnage. Go ahead and toss that into the trash. Again, the impact was huge on this. Toss this in the trash. We try to salvage what we can, but you can't salvage everything. And then we'll just remove these four to release the front shock tower. You'll notice too, in addition to coarse threaded metric hardware being used on this truck, it also is, in addition to it being Phillips, right? Instead of hex head, it's also coarse threaded. You can see this here. It's not a fine thread that we're used to on these RCs. So love these interlocking. It's like Legos on these pieces here, just to make sure, not only does it give you added strength, but it lines everything up nicely. You snap in. You can see some other pegs over here. But that interlocking really gives it a lot of strength, and you can see that suspension pin holder just totally sheared off from the impact. Toss that. All right. So from here, I'm thinking we've already disassembled a whole bunch of this. We might be able to just seeing how we can easily graft this into our front suspension here. I might have to do some thinking off camera here. Well, we definitely want to replace the bell crank with the RPM unit that is still attached here. I'm going to do some thinking on this. I might do some partial disassembly like the bumper. Well, I'm going to do some plotting around this. Yeah, maybe I'll just start off by taking off that front bumper. You guys can get a view into my thought process and strategy when I have to rebuild an RC like this. We'll probably throw this nicer looking bumper into our parts bin. Again, really like the design on this truck. Very, very thoroughly thought out for the most part, except for those shoulder screws and plastic drive shafts. Actually, we were looking at the new Team Co-Rally two-wheel drive series, which has a very similar layout to the ECX two-wheel drive chassis. We might get our hands on one of those if budget allows. So at this point, let's see here, how can we graft this on? Yeah, we might just take out this whole front shock tower and whatnot, since we've already got these shocks mounted. That might be the path of least resistance. We already have to take out the old steering bell cranks here. So we'll continue that in the next episode. Let us know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, and we will catch you next time. Thanks again for watching.